Hello everyone, this is a 5.4 guide for marksmanship hunters in expansive Mist of Pandaria of World of Warcraft. First off, we're gonna speak about the main stats hunters want, besides agility of course, which is first of all crit, um, which is basically for doing more damage and higher crits and making some kills. Second of all, we're gonna need some mastery because it gives us a 33% chance with my mastery at the moment to fire an extra shot that does 80% of the weapon damage. What you want to do first of all is reach the hit cap, which is 3% actually, but I rather have it a bit more than 3% and a little less than 4%, which is 3.5. And also have the 3% expertise cap. You've reached your goal of 3% hit and 3% expertise, you wanna reforge everything to crit as much as possible. Here in my head I have mastery and expertise, and I reforge from expertise crit. Here that I have expertise and crit, I reforge to mastery. You don't want to reforge to haste, and basically crit and mastery as a second. After the main stats, we're gonna talk about gemming. Gemming as a hunter is pretty basic. For the red gem here you can see that we need the delicate primordial ruby, which is 160 agility. For the yellow one you will need the deadly vermilion onyx, which is 80 agility and 160 crit. And for blue one you will need the Assassin's Imperial Amethyst, which gives 80 agility and 80 PvP power. Last but not least you will need the Meta Gem, which is Agile Primal Diamond, which gives 216 agility and 3% critical effect, which increases your crit as well. We're gonna talk about the enchanting of our pieces. For our shoulders we're gonna go for Tiger Claw Inscription, Greater Tiger Claw Inscription if you're an inscriptor, which gives 200 agility and 100 crit. Second, for your cloak you will need the Superior Critical Strike, which gives 180 crit. For our chest, Glorious Stats, which gives 80 to all stats, meaning of course agility and all other stats. For bracers you will need greater agility, which I don't have on my character because it's an alt and I'm a little off with the gold. For our weapon you will need Lord Blastington's Scope of Doom or Glorious Tyranny if you have again the spare conquest points and you have a high rating. For hands you will need Superior Mastery, it gives 170 mastery. For the belt you get the one extra gem, which you will go for 160 agility. For our legs you will go for Shadow Leather Leg Armor, which gives 285 agility and 165 crit. For boots you will go for Blurred Speed. It gives us 140 agility and some minor speed increase, which you will need. Now we're gonna talk about the talents of the marksmanship hunters. The 15 level tire, it's Post Haste, Now Escape and Crouching Tiger Hidden Chimera, but I rather go for Now Escape, which whenever you disengage it roots people down. I'm gonna show you right now, 1 second. Here are, let's say, the opponents, the targets. I disengage and here are the roots. Level 30 tire you will need to go for Wyvern Sting, I prefer for 3s. Binding Shot is good against melee classes. Intimidation is rather a beast mastery talent, but I would rather go for Wyvern Sting because it gives us more CC. For the level 45 tire, you will go for Spirit Bond if you're playing 2s because it gives us a 3% passive healing every 2 seconds, which is pretty OP, I might say. Exhilaration is not really good right now because hunters don't have double exhilaration because they took us off the spell. And the aspect of the Iron Hawk is when you have a healer with you, because it gives us 10% damage take, reduces damage taken by 10%. Actually take aspect of the Iron Hawk if you're playing with a healer, and Spirit Bond if you're playing 2s with a DPS. For the level 60 tier, you will go for Thrill of the Hunt because it gives you extra arcane shots at 20 focus. Actually, it's 30 focus right now, but no, it actually gives you 15 focus for each one of the arcane shots. Dark Beast is basically more for beast mastery. It gives you another pet, some extra damage. I don't really like it. And Fervor, don't really see it, it's not really that good. For level 75 tier, there is Blink Strike, Lynx Ross, and the Murder of Crows. The ones that are good in this patch is Blink Strikes and the Murder of Crows. Blink Strikes is more for your pet to do some extra damage, even though you're not Beastmaster, of course. And Murder of Crows, it's some extra damage, it's good, but I would rather go with Blink Strikes because even when I'm not there, I want to be sure my pet is doing some damage. And for level 90 tier, there is Power Shot, Barrage, and Glaive Toss. Always go for Glaive Toss because it's some decent damage, it gives us slow, and sometimes you can get multiple targets by it. Now we're gonna talk about glyphing. First of all, you want to take Glyph of Solace, which removes all the damage over time effects from targets when you're using Scatter Shot or using Freezing Trap, so the Freezing Trap doesn't break. Second of all, you want to go for Explosive Trap, which gives a knockback effect on it. It doesn't do damage anymore, but it's good when you're playing matches to throw people away from each other, throw away the healers, to get some extra time to do some extra damage. And last but not least, you want to go for Camouflage, which gives you a full stealth. And it's good for starting games because basically they train you the whole time as a hunter, and a very good opener as a hunter, which is a casting game shot because you won't be interrupted, and after that Chimera shot, which is a really decent damage. Most of the times it deals around the 130k, but it's the only time you want to cast aim shot. After that, we're gonna talk about the effective CC as a hunter in 2s and 3s. What you want to do basically, if you take Wyvern Sting, Wyvern Shot, Sleep Shot, or whatever you call it, is first of all, put your target in focus. If you can keybind it, it's better because you don't have to do all that. First of all, you wanna Scatter Shot the target. Here, as you see, is a training dummy, doesn't matter. Then Freezing Trap. Someone else is hitting it, but okay. And after that, you wanna cast Wyvern Sting. Use Wyvern Sting on the target. Now it's asleep. Someone else is hitting it, whatever. And then you have, if you prefer the Crane Pet, which I do for 3s, which is 1 extra CC, is this ability called Lullaby. which is a 4-second sleep with Scatter Shot, Freezing Trap, Wyvern Sting, and Lullaby. You will have around 13-14 seconds of CC if the target doesn't trinket. Besides that, as a hunter, there are some options for pets. I would rather go for the crane in 3s for the extra CC. There's also the monkey, which gives a stun. There is the spider that gives a root. It's good for playing against warriors. And also, yeah, I think that's it pretty much. There are some pets that give disarm, which is also good against warriors, but I would rather stay with the crane. What else can I say? The only time you want to cast aimed shot is when you, let's say you're in an arena and you're hitting your target with steady shot to get some extra focus. Here you're casting steady shot. Here you get this one that after stacks at 3 you get a free cast at aim shot, instant aim shot. Here you do it, and it's the only time you want to do it. Also, how your rotation will be is basically start, as I said, with aim shot as stealth, of course, with camouflage, then chimera, then you want to have your target wyvern sting, and you're gonna refresh the wyvern sting always with chimera shot, and you should use chimera shot every 9 seconds, every 9 seconds. After you have wyvern sting up and refreshing it with chimera shot, you wanna put widow venom on the target, which reduces the healing. Here refreshing the serpent sting, sorry, I said wyvern sting, serpent sting I meant, reduces healing by 25%. And every 9 seconds you want to be using Chimera Shot and Glaive Toss. This is your main damage. Use them together if possible for the most of the damage you can get. When you have around 75 or full focus, you want to be using Arcane Shots. Here I'm using Arcane Shots. But you always want to have around 44 focus to be able to 45 focus to be able to do Chimera Shot every 9 seconds. Also use Concussive Shot, some Snake Traps for some extra damage, and get your focus up with Steady Shot. As a marksmanship hunter and all hunters in 5.4 you have double deterrence, which is your main defensive ability actually. If you're dotted up by an affliction warlock you will still get some damage, but everything else will be useless against you. If you pop one deterrence after the other, it will give you an 8-second. Use feign death if you're playing 2s mostly and 3s to get out of let's say a chaos bolt and to stop casting, or if someone is casting Cyclone and you use feign death before it so you can stop his cast. Try and running around all the time as a hunter, casting Steady Shot. Your burst basically is Rapid Fire and Stampede. I would rather use them separately because sometimes targets bubble and you don't want to lose your whole burst in the bubble. So I use Rapid Fire first and Stampede second one, but if I see the opportunity I use them together. And of course your Trinket, which gives you have the proc Trinket as a human, and most people take this as well with a trinket that removes root stuns and everything, and also the Badge of Conquest, which is unused trinket, which gives you 2.800 agility, 2800. Against feral druids you should be using scare beasts. When when you start off the arena, you should start with camouflage, and if the targets, your opponents are stealth, you should put a flare down there. Now about macros. My macros are focus macros, and my focus macros are silencing shot. So when I have a target focused, I can silence him. If you use it like this and you have counter shot, so it gives silence shot as well. Wyvern Sting for focus. I don't use concussive shot for focus mainly because it's really easy to swap targets. The scatter shot for focus target, so you don't have to switch. The Master's Call is also a really good ability. Your pet removes root from you. Here I'll use it. Master's Call, I'm unrootable and unslowable, let's say, for 4 seconds. So when you're stuck in some roots, mage roots or warrior after charge maybe, you should use that and disengage away. Also I have Lullaby, which is when I have focus. Here I use Lullaby and my pet goes and slips the target. I have Stampede with my Tyrannical Badge of Conquest, which is the 2800 agility on used trinket, and also Rapid Fire with the same trinket. And that's basically it, guys. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please comment below and I'll try to get all the comments. And thank you. If you have any more questions, I'll be glad to respond. And if you want me to do any other class guides, I'll be more than happy to.